Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Aaron Torres podcast YouTube page. I do have one quick favor before we get to the video that you came here for, and that is very simply this. You see that little red subscribe button below this video? Go ahead, smash that subscribe button. It really does help me. It really does help this channel grow and my audience grow. So go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. And now, here is the video that you came here for. I do quickly want to transition to the Alabama side of things, because I do think that that is something that needs to be discussed. And I do know that Alabama fans in this moment in time are incredibly frustrated with Alabama just because of what happened on Saturday, right? Like Alabama, the standard is you're supposed to score on every possession on offense and you're supposed to shut them out on defense. And so to see the Alabama defense as helpless and unable to make a stop as they were, I do think it was concerning to Alabama fans. I know it was frustrating to Alabama fans, and I think that there is a legitimate fear going forward as you get to the meat of the schedule where you still have to play Georgia, you still have to play LSU, which at the very least can score points. You still have to play the Mississippi States and a few other teams. But what I would say is, while I understand Alabama fans are mad, I would say I don't think it's time to be concerned just yet. Because the bottom line is that a couple things. First of all, it's like I said, Ole Miss, I think, might be the most dynamic offense in college football that we've seen this year, right? Like we always default to Oklahoma being this or Texas being that or Washington State or wherever Mike Leach is. I look at Ole Miss, I think they're the most explosive offense in the country. It's like I said, 600-plus yards against Florida, 42 points against Kentucky, 650 yards against Alabama, but this is just who they are. And not only is it who they are, it's who they have to be to even be competitive. The reason that Ole Miss played so fast, ran so many plays, scored so many points, not only on Alabama, but throughout the season, is because they know that's what they have to do to win football games. And so I just think when I think every individual fan base, and we got a lot of fans from all over college football who listen to this show. But whether it's Kentucky fans who played Ole Miss last week, whether it's Alabama fans who play Ole Miss this past week, whether it is Arkansas fans who play Ole Miss in the future, whether it's LSU, Auburn fans, whoever, you have to almost take the Ole Miss game in the same way that you would have taken the Alabama game 4, 5, 6 years ago when Alabama was a freight train that couldn't be stopped, right? Like if you lost to Alabama 28-3, and back in the day Alabama didn't score that many points, it wasn't necessarily an indictment on your team being good or bad. It was just Alabama is so much better than everybody else. And I don't think that's a perfect apples-to-apples analogy in this case, but I do think Ole Miss is just such an outlier to everybody else in college football that they're going to score a lot of points. And not only are they going to score a lot of points, they're never going to take the foot off the gas, right? Like Alabama, when Alabama gets up on you 28-3, they're going to take out their starters and get their backup some reps. Same with a Clemson, same with an Ohio State, same with the good teams and even the not good teams. When they get up big enough, they want their backups to get some experience. With Ole Miss, they know because of their defense, not only does the offense have to be awesome, but they can't let their foot off the gas. And so when I look at Alabama's schedule, I know everybody's freaking out. I know they're super frustrated. I know that fans want to, Pete Golding, the defensive coordinator, he's got to go. He's got to be fired. I just think it's more a reflection of Ole Miss. And by the way, a primetime home game going against a former Nick Saban assistant, then I think it is a reflection on Ole Miss or Alabama's defense being terrible. I would also say, look at the rest of the schedule. Georgia, for as good as they are, and I'm going to talk about Georgia in a second, Georgia is not the dynamic offense that Ole Miss is. Mississippi State certainly is not after what we saw these last couple games. LSU might be improved offensively, but defensively they are a total mess. Auburn is certainly a total mess offensively. Kentucky, I think, is very limited in what they can do offensively. So I just think if you're an Alabama fan, context matters. I know it's the day or two after a game in which you gave up 647 yards of total offense, but I'm telling you the defense is not as bad as you think. And I think it'll be reflected this weekend in a game against Georgia.